Before you sign a contract or work with any SEO company for your pressure washing or exterior cleaning business, watch this video, because one bad SEO decision can cost you thousands of dollars in an entire season of work without you even realizing it until either the phone stops ringing or it doesn't ring at all. If you own a pressure washing exterior cleaning business, you already know what a good season feels like. Your phone's ringing and you're booked out for days or weeks in advance. And the right SEO strategy can make that your new normal. But the wrong SEO company can make it feel like Google doesn't work in your area, and they'll send you pretty little reports without any jobs being booked on your calendar. And I see this all the time. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 simple checks you can run on any SEO company before you hire them, so you know how to spot useless results and what real proof looks like, how to tell in the first 60 seconds if they actually understand pressure washing exterior cleaning or if they're just winging it, how to break down their strategy and deliverables so you know what will actually move the needle in your service area and for your actual business. So by the end of this video, I want you to know exactly how to filter out bad SEO companies, what questions to ask on the very first call, and to choose a marketing partner or an SEO company who can actually keep your schedule full. So let's start with the first and the most important one, which is going to be real results. An SEO company that you should work with should have exact results that are for the exterior cleaning industry. Just because somebody knows how to market a restaurant doesn't mean that they also know how to market an exterior cleaning business too. And so even if it's just one exterior cleaning company that they've done good for, I've seen a lot of exterior cleaning businesses make that mistake where they said, well, my friend referred the guy and he was really good. And that could be a good thing, but do more background checks on that exterior cleaning company. Do they have at least 3 to 5? They need to have at least 3 to 5 at the bare minimum results for SEO when it comes to that industry. If they don't have that, then they probably don't know what they're doing at that point. And so that is the biggest thing that you want to go ahead and see. And you want to see tangible results. You want to look these businesses up that they're actually talking about as well to see if they do have the results. And so that's the number one most important thing is, do they have the results, testimonials, and the case studies in order to back that up? And do they have at least 3 to 5 of those for this specific exterior cleaning industry? And so the second thing I want to talk about is, do they have specific industry knowledge? Do they understand your service mix? Do they understand roof cleaning, paver sealing, gutter cleaning, window cleaning? Why does this matter? Because it actually maximizes the opportunity and to create factual and unique content. Do they understand what services they should be actually targeting or specializing in each component of each season of the year, right? So in the spring, are they pushing house washing, as a topic of discussion? Going into the fall time frame, are they going to go ahead and create content around gutter cleaning so that they're attuned to the services that your customers are looking for based off that seasonality? So whenever they understand your pain points and your customer avatar, they can create content and outcomes that actually convert those customers, whether that's going to be about pricing, the frequency of when jobs need to be done, and the type of things that customers look for. For example, you can create content around what is one of the most common questions that customers ask exterior cleaning businesses. They ask, like, do you bring your own water? You can address that. They also ask, like, will this kill my plants? You can address that. You can address the pricing things that people always ask or that customers always ask too. So once again, guys, do they have specific industry knowledge? Now, the next point I want to go ahead and make now is going to go ahead and be the strategy, deliverables, and processes. And this is one of the most important things that I want you guys to pay attention to. So please pay attention to this, because I'm going to give you some great things that you can go ahead and consider and ask an SEO company. So when it comes to the strategy, deliverables, and process, do they keep up to date with the latest SEO and AI standards? Because the industry is rapidly changing, especially with AI search, and especially with search changing with Google AI overviews. And so the way that you used to create content has significantly changed. So you want to know, are they keeping up to date with the latest SEO and AI standards? And also, are you working with marketing companies that only provide one part of the SEO process instead of a complete strategy? Because these only doing one component of SEO won't move the needle if the foundation is broken or other areas aren't addressed. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by that. There's businesses out there that are just offering offering, we'll just optimize your Google business profile and that's it. Well, guess what, guys? Your website heavily influences the way that your Google business profile ranks. So it doesn't matter how much you optimize a Google business profile if the structure of your website is not there. And when they click your website and your website's not optimized or your website's not converting, well, guess what? It doesn't even matter if you got that person to convert on your Google business profile because your website's not up to par. Also, you need a complete strategy. You need a marketing company that's going to handle your complete SEO strategy from A to Z and all components: the website, the Google business profile, the content creation, the backlinks or the Facebook profile stuff, or like the social media account creation. They can handle all components of that strategy, not just one. And so another thing to consider, does your strategy take your location into consideration? Because the wrong targeting, no matter how good the SEO is, will not get you the results that you want. I guarantee you the right SEO company can still find other areas that you can go ahead and maximize to drive revenue, and it's what we do for our clients as well. Now, if you have a weak online presence, this means that you may need to be more strategic with the targeting to maximize your opportunity. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by that. So we had a client, if you're not familiar with the Tampa Bay area, right? Tampa, large city here in Florida. And then to the east of Tampa, about 20 miles or drive time about 30 minutes away east of Tampa, there's this area called Valrico. And so we had a client whose prior SEO company tried to go ahead and rank them for Tampa. And as I just stated, that area in Valrico is about 30 minutes away from Tampa. So therefore, it's going to be extremely difficult for this client to go ahead and rank because their online presence was not the strongest outside of that Valrico area. Google business profile had about, at the time, like 120 Google reviews. And so they had a pretty good presence, but they weren't one of the most premier exterior cleaning companies. Therefore, it was going to be extremely difficult for them to rank in Tampa, which Tampa is very competitive. As you guys know, it's Florida. And so what we had to do with this online presence where it was, I wouldn't say it was weak, but it wasn't nearly as maximized as it could be, we had to be more strategic with our targeting. Therefore, we went ahead and change the targeting for that client to be that Valrico area and a 10-mile radius that we doubled down on. That client went from getting 6 calls a month when they were trying to target Tampa just because they thought it was a bigger city to getting at least 60 to 80 calls a month just from organic SEO by us changing the targeting and actually just focusing on that 10-mile radius because we had done the research prior to. So you have to look at the strategies. Based off your current online presence, are they taking that in consideration with the strategy that they have for your pressure washer exterior cleaning business? Now, one thing that I'm going to talk about that might catch a lot of flack from a lot of these SEO guys that run companies out here is, do they build and revamp websites? The best SEO companies that I know, what they do is they build and they actually revamp websites. Websites is part of their service offering because websites are the foundation of search. And some key issues that could be missed or not addressed that I routinely see from people that work with these SEO companies that don't necessarily know how to build websites or they're good at it is they don't have a good conversion-friendly design. Is that website speed and optimization and the user experience are very important. And so if they don't really build websites, they probably don't also know how to make the website faster. Therefore, it doesn't matter what kind of pages they're creating, the kind of content they're creating, because they're not maximizing the performance of your website for speed and conversions. Therefore, guess what? You're not going to convert traffic. Also, when it comes to indexing, what no index means is that it wouldn't be able to show up on any search engine such as Google, Bing, Ask Jeeves, DuckDuckGo, whatever you want to say. It's not going to show up on those search engines. One other thing I want to talk about too is, can they also, out of all the services that they provide, do they only provide SEO or do they also execute on paid platforms when organic's taking too long? I'll be the first one to say that sometimes it takes a little bit longer for us to rank our clients. That's some of the clients that we get because we're in a very competitive area. So what we might do is that we will provide flexibility to our client and we'll say, hey, we'll go ahead and offer paid ads as well, such as like Google, so that we can go ahead and generate results while SEO is being executed, because it's always a bonus. Now, let's talk about the fourth thing, which is going to be communication and reporting. This is one of the biggest things that I think that goes missed in the exterior cleaning industry when it comes to them working with SEO companies. And one thing that you want to go ahead and look at when it comes to the communication reporting is, what is the onboarding process like? What is the onboarding process? So once you say that you're going to start working with this SEO company, what does that that onboarding process look like? Because this dictates the entire relationship and the entire strategy. Because if this is done wrong, then what ends up happening? Some common things that I see that our new clients will tell us all the time about the previous SEO company that they worked with. When I started working with them, I told them that I wanted these photos on there, but the photos never got placed on there, or they had the wrong address on my website for the longest time, or they told me this expectation, but I didn't get that result, right? Or they were constantly calling me for things that I thought that they already had access to. And so that's what ends up happening. You end up having photos that don't represent your business. You end up having incorrect information or content, wrong targeting, poor expectations, or constant calls for access for little things like your GoDaddy or your hosting. These different things will end up constantly getting asked, or these things will end up happening. So make sure that the onboarding process is smooth. Make sure that they're getting all the access. Make sure that they're knowing what your customer avatar is. Make sure that they know what your pricing is. Make sure that they know how your process is, the type of equipment that you use, your branding, your unique mechanisms that make you different than other exterior cleaning businesses as well. And so another thing that you want to address when it comes to the communication reporting is, what is actually being reported on and how often is it being reported? Know what work was done during the reporting period. Some people, I say, well, do you know what your SEO company is doing? They'll be like, I never knew what my SEO company was doing. It's like, you worked with these guys for over a year and you actually never knew what they were doing on a consistent basis. And so you need to know what work was done during that reporting period. So let's say that it's April 1st. You need to know what was done all throughout March. And so you also want to know, what is the strategy for next month? What are the next steps that company is going to be doing? What are they going to be focusing on? And you want to understand what's being reported on and how often it's being reported on. Because what will end up happening as well is that these SEO companies will report on metrics that just don't matter. And you want to know how often they're going to be reporting. Some people are like, I haven't heard from my SEO company in months. And so you need to go ahead and establish, when is that communication tempo going to be? Is it once a month? Is it twice? Is it twice a month? Like, you want to establish how frequently are they going to be in contact with. And so another thing that you want to go ahead and consider about communication reporting is calls and form tracking included. I cannot tell you how many people I ask when I say, well, how do you know your SEO company is doing bad? Like, how many leads are they generating for you a month? And they say, I don't know. One thing that can be used for call and form tracking as well is that your SEO company should know what type of jobs they're getting. So for example, for our clients, you'll hear them rave all the time about, like, man, these guys are always constantly suggesting things that I already thought of. And the reason why we're already doing that and why we can anticipate what our clients are already thinking is because we actually listen to their phone calls. So we listen to their phone calls on a monthly basis, and we literally have an automation script that we use that will always ask every single month for our clients, like, what was the most requested service? What was the biggest hang up? And we'll also have something of the services that the client offers. And what that ends up doing is it allows us to go ahead and know what we can write about or know what we can maximize for the future as well. Another thing I want to talk about is monthly video calls. Are you going to get monthly video calls so that you can use this for updates, improvements, and addressing things that need to be fixed? Or, any adjustments around strategy, seasonality, new services, and new goals? And lastly, guys, I want to talk about contracts. When it comes to communication reporting, contracts, always know the terms you're agreeing to before signing that dotted line. Whether it's month to month, like we work month to month here at Pressure Washing Marketing Pros, but I've seen other kind of SEO agencies where they say, like, hey, you got to be under a year-long contract, right? Or you have to do this. Like, know what terms you're getting into before you sign a contract. You don't know how many times I've seen people get screwed over and lose thousands of dollars and be locked into a contract. And I'll tell you this little secret, guys. Most of these SEO companies are not going to take you to a small claims court. So therefore, like, sometimes I say, hey, what are they going to do if you break your contract that was for 12 months at 6 months? Like, what are you going to do at that point? And so it's one of those things that you look at that you want to make sure that you know what you're agreeing to before signing that contract. And so, yes, guys, those are the 4 main things to go ahead and summarize this video. Those are the 4 main things that you want to go ahead and look at, right? Do they have the results, testimonial, and case studies? Do they have the specific industry knowledge? Look at the strategy, deliverables, and the processes that they're utilizing, and then also see about their communication and reporting. If you ask these things before you hire your next SEO company, or you ask your current SEO company, guess what? You'll be in a much better position and you won't get scammed, and you'll save yourself thousands of dollars before making that investment. And if you want to go ahead and make sure that your SEO company, whether you're new to SEO and you're like, hey, I don't know the kind of strategy that I need to go ahead and utilize, or you want to go ahead and say, hey, I want to test to see if my SEO company is actually doing the right thing, we offer free lead flow strategy sessions for anybody that wants to go ahead and see that, where we'll break down your online presence, your website, your paid ads, how well you show up in AIs or LLMs like ChatGPT and other kind of platforms. So you can go ahead in the description, click that, and you can book a time on our calendar, and me and my team will go ahead and break down your online presence for you so that you know what you need to do going forward. And so thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one.